having camera issues again. I don't know how many times I could say that without week after week. So fortunately it's this camera that's working, and so you can see what I'm doing today. Today's art journal day, and I've been feeling a little bit in a rut, and so I'm going to just go ahead and do something based off of what we did yesterday in my Dina Wakley art journal class. We did this layout, and I really enjoyed the process of layering these collage elements on the background. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that again with this and play around. And I got really inspired by the people in the women, I should say, in my class, and all the things that they tried. You know, we start with an idea, and then everybody kind of does their own thing around it. And it was just so fun to see it. And so I want to sort of just keep going with my inspiration from yesterday.
What book is that?
This is my Typing in 24 Hours book. I basically saved this book for collage. And so this is a little bit of a, like the Sky Bambi aesthetic, where there's lots of washi tape and elements, and really the design piece of this comes in with the collage elements working together. And so I haven't done very much with it, but I do love it, this journal. And I'm starting with some soft gel gloss medium. This is golden, and I'm going to use it as a collage medium today. Still is. I'm not completely set up. I thought it was, but I'm not. Okay. And to collage effectively is you put the medium down first, and then you put your element that you want to collage down on top of it down, and then you put another layer of the medium on top of that. That's your best bet for getting a wrinkle-free, and it's not completely wrinkle-free, but you get much more likely to get a wrinkle-free adherence if you do it this way. Now, one of the things I love about this is Dina Wakley's collage elements. This one is called Just Words, and it's 10 different designs, and it is just words. I'm just going to focus on working on just one side. And I love how when you get this, when you sandwich this, once it gets a little wet, that collage fodder, it just disappears into the page, so that you're left with really just the imagery that's on the collage paper. And it's not completely true, and if you layer it more and more, then you get more and more halo from the paper. But I do love how these work together like this, and then you get a nice cohesive background. Now, some of the ladies last night were cutting these pages out because they're full of like interesting quotes. So some of them last night were actually cutting the quotes out and using them individually. You can see this one says, "Nothing too small to know. Nothing is too small to know. To be alive is a precious gift. You have no idea how good you really are." I'll take that one. I need that this morning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I have another Dina Wakley class coming up in a couple of, or in a month. They're monthly, the Dina Wakley ones. And the next one, I don't have a sample for it yet because I'm waiting for her new stuff that I literally just ordered today, or this week to come in. Yeah, just
I'll throw the class up on the chat.
Yeah,
so
that would be great.
easy to
People could see it. It's an hour and a half. We don't take a long time at it, but it's just enough time to finish a little what's it called? Spread. Get your collage on. And you get a quantity of paints and stencils and or mediums and or ephemera and or embellishments. This ladies have all the colors and all the stuff that because they've taken the class enough. So I might start supplementing. Might.
Yeah, it's a good way to collect all the different colors,
Yeah.
especially when they come in.
Exactly. Yeah, I did just order all the new ones, so you won't have these ones yet unless you've shopped somewhere else, which I get if you don't want to wait. No hard feelings. We talked about that last night. I was like, I get it. You have a 70% off coupon. You're going to go to Joann's. I'm not going to judge anybody for that. But obviously, if you don't support your local independent craft store, wherever you are, then they eventually go away, and then you'll get stuck doing what I have to do when I go to Seattle, which is if I need anything crafty and not something my art store that I love carries, then I have to go to Joann's and Michael's, and it's so depressing. And even them, they don't have all the specialty stuff that I carry, so even when I go there, I'm like, they don't have the dies and the stamps, so I have to ship them up from down here, which is fine. Buy for myself, but
Did you ever think of opening a shop up there?
yeah, I've thought about opening a shop anywhere that I'm related to someone. New York. Somebody said something the other day somewhere else. I was like, oh yeah, of course. You know, it's tempting, especially when you end up somewhere adorable and there's a beautiful little building with a cute little space, and you think, oh, a craftiness would look so cute there. Every time I go to Ventura, I'm like, oh, I could do a shop here. You know, people down in Orange County have been begging me to open a shop down there. So, you know, I'm always thinking about it. But at this point, I have other projects on the burner. Maybe I will franchise. Nope, I'm getting slow Wi-Fi warnings. So if we black out, it's because our Wi-Fi is having issues. I should probably just have it checked. Just always so annoyed when they drop in. I don't want to call them voluntarily.
Yeah.
They're always dropping in saying, how's your Wi-Fi? I'm like, I did not call you.
We can call today and make an appointment.
Yes, good idea. Up the Wi-Fi. I just did that with my mom and dad's house. I finally got sick of it and was like, you need to get someone in here. And now they have Wi-Fi in their garage, you know, down the street. It's awesome.
That's great.
All right. So that was a bunch of the collage fodder left over from the project we did last night. And you can see how very quickly you can fill a page. You could also do, you know, your own kind of work on this. You could make collage papers very easily by getting her blank collage papers and doing your own scribbling and stamping and marking to create kind of papers like this for yourself. Now, one thing I'm going to start with is one of her acrylic sprays. But this one, you know, this is one that had seized up on me as a spray. So I put one of the applicators on. That turns it into a paint pen. So I'm just going to play around with drawing something on it. And creating big words. I like it. I like it. And then the colors I had yesterday. And I'm just going to take another one that's also seized up. This is the green. Sorry, that was the cheddar color. It's one of my favorites of hers. And this is her lime. And this one is seized up as well. So what I'm just going to do is take it out and splatter it. And I intentionally chose these sort of bright colors to stand out on top of this black and white background. So it's splattering. This is that moment to get some of that I can't believe what the world is doing today energy. We have a little bit of that going on, don't we?
Yep, absolutely.
And then this one I'm going to take, again, it's seized up. And this, you can tell, I have not taken the time to stop it from seizing up. This is, if I were being really careful, this would not look like that. So, you know, if you're careful, you can stop it. But now I'm going to take this out and just use this as a wand to paint with. It's not as effective or as fun as doing it with the adapter tip, but it does do it. I don't know.
What did you call that color? It looks like bubblegum to me.
Magenta.
That's magenta.
She doesn't get sort of floofy with her names particularly. Now the one thing about this applicator tip is that it's a little pin, and in order to do it right, you really do have to get it in the tube. Otherwise it's pointless.
So you just leave that attached to it, or you just, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise you can take it off, clean it out, and use it on multiple ones. Because you get 2 in the kit, in the package when you buy them. The Ranger.
You get 2.
The Ranger applicators. You get
these
2.
ones?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not realize that. Yeah, I just leave mine on because all of these are going to end up changed over. So I don't know if you can see the little spots of color that added to the page. Just subtle moments. And you know, Dina Wakley does not like to heat gun her work. I do. I didn't realize that if you navigate away from the app on my phone that it stops the video, which I guess makes sense, but I accidentally touched a notification. I was trying to dismiss it, and instead I activated it. Technology. Ooh, when it starts to smell like something's burning, you should probably ease up. All right, so I'm going to add a little more color, and we're going to see now. Everything I've done so far on here is acrylic. So I'm going to now spray on some colors, and we'll see how they interact with everything that's on here. So this is a dioxide spray. So this is water soluble. Yeah. Ooh, gosh, look at the coverage. And I was kind of curious to see what happens when it adds. You know what? I forgot to grab some water. A water spray bottle. That's what I'm doing. And because it's there. I think right behind you in the basket on the left, there should be some water spritz bottles. Thank you. So sometimes when I feel like I have enough on there and I just want to, you know, reduce how much spritzy look it has, I'll spray it with some water. And now I'm just going to move it around a little bit. Okay, so this is water soluble, what I just put down, which means that anything I put down on top of it's not going to interact with it. And it's genuinely just sitting on top of what I did. sure. So part of the reason it's taking a while to dry is because it's sitting on top of a water resistant medium, and so it's just sitting there. So the only way it's going to dry, it's not going to get absorbed. It's only going to dry if I, literally heat all the moisture out of it.
This one's from Truckee, California, one of my favorite little towns.
No way.
Nobody lives on here now.
Oh, we probably wanted to see how our car warranty was faring.
Yeah. That would be a fun place for a craft store. Actually, they do have a bit of a craft store in Truckee.
In Truckee?
Yeah, I think years ago, I sent you pictures of, I was in this shop. They had all kinds of, I think it was during the urban craft standard.
Oh, that would have been a long time ago.
So they had knitting and sewing as well as
I could see that working actually, because isn't Truckee like a roadside stop basically?
It's right before the townhomes. So it's a very hipster spot now.
Oh, Truckee, huh? Would not have thought that. So at this point, I'm just chasing the medium around the page. And here it does. I just had a hot oil smell. It reminded me of my old RV. Something's burning.
It's really a bad memory.
No, it's a good memory. Yeah. It was an old car, and so when you heated it up, various bits of it would smell sort of oily and grimy. And we had 10 years of camping and road trips in it, so good memory for sure. Lots of tears around it too, because it broke down all the time.
Right.
Like one of my worst experiences was driving around Lake Tahoe, funnily enough, with it seizing up every few miles because of the heat. So I'm just adding some more splatters. This color is the turquoise, again one of my sprays that has seized up, so I'm just going in and adding some color that way. Notice that normally I do two sides. For some reason I just felt like doing the one side today. So I'm just going to show you guys because it's interesting to have this. The new setup is my phone shows me what I'm working on. And I just want to show you that because I am now in a position where I can look up and see a photograph of my work. And it really does help sometimes to give me a perspective on what's going on. I can see the colors developing. I can see parts of the page that are maybe a little unbalanced or blank. And, it's one of those tricks that we say, every art teacher says, if you're not sure what's missing, walk away from it, or look at it through your phone, because everybody has your phone with them now. If you take a picture of it, it automatically coalesces into a whole, and you can see kind of what might be missing. What might be missing for me is some more text. So this is my favorite. Everybody knows that. And I want to do something a little dramatic. I don't often do, this was one of the first ways that I experienced these spray inks was using them through a stencil. So I've kind of gotten away from that. Oh, come on. Oh,
Is that a Crafter's Workshop stencil?
It's a Crafter's Workshop stencil. It's my favorite at the moment. And this is a Seth After spray, but it has seized up, which is mightily disappointing, I have to say. No, I really want it to be black. I have a bee in my bonnet about it. Let me think about what I could do instead. Oh, this is where you get to hear the sounds of my little feet pattering around the studio as I try to find something else to work with. All right. What that thing is going to be is a little Dina Wakley paint. Here's my Dina Wakley paint basket. And I've grabbed her Night. It's one of my favorite colors of hers. And I'm just going to use it as a medium. And I'm going to scrape it over this. I'm going to find a less compromised part of my stencil. And I'm just going to see if that works. Yeah, it kind of did. It's still purpley though, which I do love this color. But wish I had a black. Nope, lots of Night. I do love, that's how much I love this color. Black Gesso, we'll do that. Next. So I'm being a little intentional as to, I've got this color that's here, you know, on top of all that black and white. So I'm bringing some of the black wording up through it, or some black wording, not the same black wording. And so this is Dina Wakley's Black Gesso that I'm using here. Squidging that down. And I'm just going to drag that through and see if we can get some cool words there. Oh, nope. So what I'm going to do here, because it didn't express itself, is I am going to water this down and spread it around a little bit and just use it as a wash, a little bit of a wash. And since I have it here, I'm going to pick up some of this with a paper towel. Gosh, just wipe it off. Ugh. Nope. Not happy. So this is one of the reasons I don't like using paper towels, because I lost a little bit of the organic interaction that I built up in that corner, in that area. So that's one of the reasons I'm not sponging off the paint here, because I want to reestablish it a little bit. And this paint is acrylic, so when it dries, it'll be permanent. And where it has trapped some of this red ink that got rehydrated, it'll be permanent. You can see me chasing those puddles around on my page. And when I'm doing this on my own, this part can be very meditative, because it really forces you to wait. And so, you know, you're standing here watching the paint dry, literally, and it gives your mind a little space to wander around. And sponge that off, see what I get out of it. Okay. Meh. And here it says, that was meh. So, not very often that I regret not cleaning my stencils, but that happened because my stencil wasn't very clean. So, you know, sometimes it is fun to have a clean stencil to work with. You just get a better impression when it's clean and when it's not. That wasn't the end of the world. One thing I'm going to do is splat again with some of these colors that I have layered in there. So here's that turquoise coming in. And pink. And then I'm going to re-scribble with this cheddar. And come in and write something completely different right there. And maybe a little something completely different right here. And those really were just scribbles. And you can kind of tell because they almost look exactly alike. Whereas if I had used words, if you use words, you get something that looks more authentic. I don't know, I might be done for today. Yeah. It's not my usual thing, but I'm kind of liking where it's at. It's messy, it's complicated, it's fractured. It's a little representative of my life at the moment. I have a little lime, but
okay, good. What's a little lime?
With a little lime.
Just adding the lime to the tequila.
Maybe some salt in there somewhere. The salt of my tears. Anyway, I'm gonna let this dry naturally. I'm gonna Dina Wakley it and not heat gun it. I'm gonna let it do its thing. And
Dina Wakley it.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, everybody. I hope that that was fun. I'm sorry I can't say hi. But you know, I encourage you. There's lots of ways to mix media and to art journal. I have my techniques that I show all the time, but there are other ways, you know, and experiment. This doesn't have to be collage material you bought from an artist either. It could be stuff out of a magazine and text out of a book. There's lots of ways to find fodder for collaging, and so I encourage you to glue some of it down. All right.
1 o'clock boxes.
Boxes. We have boxes. Lots of boxes. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Bye.
it. Bye,
See you
everybody.
1 o'clock.
Turn that off.